Hello everyone. Today we are going to see four interesting chess puzzles. These puzzles have been from positions from my games I played. But before that, happy International Chess Day. On behalf of this event, we are presenting four chess puzzles that will absolutely blow your mind and out of your mind. You have to be open-minded to solve these puzzles. So let's get started. In this position, black possesses pawn. How do you stop this pawn? And even if you think it is unstoppable. But this position is just a draw. How? Let's see. You may think the most obvious move is this check. After the king moves, you can pin this pawn, right? No. Black takes this pawn. And after takes, and after you push, black promotes to check and he's winning. So you can't do that. Or if you think you can push your pawn, let's say pawn to b7, for example, that's even losing better because he queens pins your rook. Even if you take the bishop, he takes your rook, and if you go here, you take your pawn, and you are completely losing. So you have to play a move which guarantees the draw. Would you find it? Well, the best move is actually to check, and after the king moves, you should not win this pawn as we saw earlier. Then what do you play here? You may think that black can queen, right? No, we take the bishop, let him queen, because this position is a draw. Because rook d6, or he can play king c7 attacking the rook. He can give a check in whichever way he wants. If this check is given, and after this is a complete draw. So let's go back. But the move the engine recommends is pawn to a7. Because if he checks this way, we can play king c7. Queen 8 is the best move. And after that, this queen and this rook were trapped here. And after king g3, we can play rook a2. And he might try. And this position is just a draw. Or let's say here, and after you queen, the best move was actually king to c7, as we discussed earlier. If he gives this check, we can simply take the rook, and this position is simply a draw. You can't escape check. That's what Ali wanted because due to our pawn advantage, this position is just a draw even he has an extra queen. So advancement of pawns is crucial in the endgame. If you like this puzzle, subscribe to our channel right. So let me go to next puzzle. This position is a queen endgame. Here, black has two extra pawns going to promote. And what do you do here? Well, if you play some normal move like king f2, black can take this pawn. If you recapture, then he can win this game easily because of these past ones. And if he manages to trade queens, this is a good game for him. So how do you win? We have to follow a very important tactic. Watch out for perpetual checks in the queen end. Here, this pawn is currently defended by two pieces. You might think that we have to defend this pawn or you will lose one more pawn. But whether you find it a move Whether you found the move? Well, this move is completely counterintuitive. Going to B5. You might think that what we are doing, you and after take takes, we will simply lose the pawn, and we are losing, right? No, the trick lies in the recapturing project. But what has happened in the game is my opponent checked me and checked me again and defended the pawn. Or if he The reason behind it is if we simply capture this pawn, we take another extra pawn with check and we recapture this pawn, and this position is a total draw. We never take king g2 and easily escape. And if we ever push us, we can take this pawn as well. So that my opponent checked me before capturing this pawn. And after this check, this pawn is defended. And he captured this pawn. And can you find a drawing resource here that the idea I told before? Yes, the idea of perpetual check. Queen e check, and the king can never escape checks. This is a way to draw the game because if the king moves here and this is checkmate, and he has to go to the very same space. You might think the initial position after going to b5, he can play like this to start the perpetual. But this is losing for him because after he take, this pawn is unstoppable. Even if the king tries to come, this pawn is totally unstoppable and we are winning. Or you might think he can play like this. Avoiding perpetual will be dangerous for him. So black must accept the perpetuals as it was happened in the game like this, and after this check, he caps, and this is one more way that I showed you earlier. So due to perpetuals, I saved the game. You like this puzzle, right? Then hit that likes, then hit the thumbs up button and like this video as well. Let's move to our third puzzle. So in this position, let's see it from black's point of view. In this position, white placed knight to c4, attacking the bishop, blocking the protection of this pawn, and pinning this bishop to the rook. You might think we can take this straight. Even though we have monstrous advantage, it is hard to simplify. Even if you try to trade pieces like this, that won't work. Because you have to simplify even more to win this game. You want to go with this variation, you can go with that. But let me tell you a cool little variation. Here, this diagonal is totally weak. So what do you play here? We have to play some brilliant moves to find. I think I'm sure that most of you saw Bishop before check because after this and this following sequence of moves, we end up with a monstrous advantage, right? Now, if White plays this perfectly, this position could end in a draw unless he makes a mistake. But Black has a slight advantage. So we have to simplify even more. Queen before check. We want to bring more attackers into the game. Here he blocks with the bishop, attacking the queen, attacking the bishop. You might think what we have done. We are totally lost, right? No, we have a brilliant move that will simplify the game even further. That is, I will give a few seconds to find. Well, the brilliant move is pawn to b2. You might think sacrifice this queen, attacking the rook, white, and is under serious pressure. If he takes with the knight, we simply take with the queen, and we are simply a piece up. You might think he has to capture because we are attacking the rook. But white may think that the queen is valuable than a rook and he can capture the queen. But my friend, we have a little surprise. We won't take the rook. We take the bishop, give a check. He blocks with the knight, and we take this rook, promoting to a queen. And after all these exchanges, we have so many pieces. And I hope you can win this game, right? So if you have monstrous advantage, try to simplify and don't make any mistake, and you're good to go. And the last puzzle, the simplest of all, and that is for you to solve. Here, white is a piece up, but white is completely cramped up here. And how do you win? Well, it is black to play white, by the way. Here, black has a beautiful mate in two. Can you find it? Tell me in the comments. By the way, if you like this video, by the way, if you like this puzzles presented here, then like this video and subscribe to our channel for more. The puzzles for the last year International Sister event, the link in the description box below. So go and check it out. Thank you for watching this video.